Good morning, Year 7. Welcome to another lesson on poetry, specifically identity poetry. Before we get on to that, have a look at these images and just see, they're all linked to the poem, but you can't know that yet because we haven't read it. So just as an exercise in connection and creativity, see if you can link them together. Just spend 5 minutes on that, please. Okay, and to go into your books, the learning objective, which doesn't go in, is to read and analyse the poem My Father Thought It Bloody Queer, and then the title is My Father Thought It Bloody Queer. So write that into your books and then on to the next slide. Today you're going to need a pen in your exercise book, a copy of the poem, which I will attach to Classcharts, and some highlighters and colours as pens as usual. And I hope you enjoy the poem, it's quite good. Just a word actually on the word queer. This was written a while ago. Queer has been quite rightly appropriated by the gay community now. So it's nothing to do with that. Queer back in those days used to mean unusual or odd. This is great for enjambment, this poem. You all remember what enjambment is? It's where a line ends and goes into the next line without punctuation, so you read straight through. If you look at the fourth line there, if that's how easily you're led, you should have had it through your nose instead. After led, there is no comma, so it goes straight to the next line, and that points up the rhyme between led and instead and gives this whole thing a really nice rhythm. I'll try and read it properly. Right, here we go. My father thought it bloody queer, the day I rolled home with a ring of silver in my ear, half hidden by a mop of hair. You've lost your head. If that's how easily you're led, you should have had it through your nose instead. And even then I hadn't had the nerve to numb the lobe with ice, then drive a needle through the skin, then wear a safety pin. It took a jeweller's gun to pierce the flesh, and then a friend to thread the sleeper in, and where it slept the hole became a sore, became a wound and wet. At 29, it comes as no surprise to hear my own voice breaking like a tear, released like water, cry from way back in the spiral of the ear. If I were you, I'd take it out and leave it out next year. There we are. Right, here's some tasks for you to do. Write down what you think the poem's about. What do you think the father meant by bloody queer? Remember, we're not talking about gay here. We're talking about queer as in odd. Explain why the father's comment in less than 3 to 5, in line 3 to 5, is an insult. What do you think when the son arrived home? Disgust, disappointment, despair, disbelief? What do you think the son felt about the father's reaction? So work your way through these tasks. You've got 10 minutes to do that. And once you've written your answers, go on to the next slide and add and correct your work. I'm going to try something new here, which is to do with sort of initial reactions to the poem. On the next few slides, there'll be a section from the poem displayed. Some of the words are highlighted in red. Give yourself 1 minute to write down why they might be highlighted, what effect they're having on you, or what effect you think they were designed to have, even if you haven't had a particular reaction yourself. Then move on to the next slide and add and correct the answers you already have. Now we're going to be doing a PEAL paragraph, year 8, something we haven't done for a while, but I know that you'll all remember how to do it. The point is the point you're trying to make. The evidence is always taken from the text, in this case from the poem. It's a quote. And then the analysis, which is the close word analysis on the evidence that you selected, and then the link, you refer back to the question. You can use wording from the question. So down at the bottom here, look, you've got the poet presents growing up in the poem as it might be challenging with parents. This is shown when he refers to then a quote from the poem. Then the use of the word is focusing in on a word in that quote. And then this displays the growing up theme because you get the idea. So check your answer with this here. Hopefully you've got something like it. And this is the part of the lesson that I want you to send to me, or to upload onto Classcharts rather. Don't send it to me. And I'll have a look on there, and work I've been getting has been fantastic. So really pleased with that. I'm really pleased with the amount and the quality of it. So keep that going, and I can keep awarding the achievement points. Well done, year 7. I will see you next time.